Hey everyone, this is Jenny from Homestead Corner, and today thought we would talk about the rule of three for survival. Sometimes when we are thinking about our prepper plans and things like that, we kind of get really in depth, the things that we want, the things that we feel that we're going to need in an emergency situation. And if to simplify that, we can definitely look at the rule of three and see where we can really target, and you can really target your preps this way. It's really helpful. If you remember the simple rules, you can really pinpoint exactly what you're going to need. So you're not stocking a bunch of stuff that you don't need. So to start off, really, we can go 3 minutes without air. And some people can go a little bit longer, some people can't go quite as long. It's going to depend individually, but the average person, these all apply to the average person. So 3 minutes without air, you're going to want to make sure that you have stuff to cover your air passages, whether it is, a simple bandana, and I keep one in my hair. All my bags have bandanas in them. They're so handy. You can cover your face quick if you need to, and an N95 mask if you have access to that, even a gas mask. If you have those, and more gas masks are more for the chemical aspect, and you can get really technical if you'd like to, but it's not, it depends on what your plan is. So we have, all sorts of stuff for all sorts of things, but we can only go 3 minutes without air. And our airways, definitely, we want to remember, if you have people that are allergic to things, you may want to pack and keep on hand Benadryl, because Benadryl can really help if you have an allergic reaction or something like that. It might not fix everything, but it definitely can help in an allergic reaction situation. Also, 3 minutes without medical care, I would say, because medical care, a big gash, things like that can be super, super dangerous, and it can escalate really fast. So you want to make sure that you have a good supply of medical supplies. We keep a bunch of different things for it. In our bug out bags, we try to make sure we have the larger gauze compresses. I think these are 4x4 with some tape with it. You always want to have a way to attach it. We keep some medical tape with it, and bleed stop. This stuff works really well. And a good tourniquet. Again, the bandana will work if that's what you've got. If you've got a nice tourniquet, that is good, because sometimes you have got to cut off the blood flow to that area so they don't bleed out. And having these important items definitely can be a lifesaver. The next thing is 3 hours without shelter in a harsh environment. Dehydration sets in really quick when it is extremely hot. In a desert area, things like that, without shade, without some sort of shelter, you could definitely be in big trouble. And also in the really cold climates, you have to think about hypothermia. We keep these little emergency tent things in our bug out bags. If we have to leave our home, we have got some sort of shelter. Also, emergency blankets, something that you can get out of the weather in. That is what you definitely want. Even if it's just a tarp and some rope, whatever it is, you need a little something in there. The next is 3 days without water. And that, I think, personally, is really stretching it, especially if it is hot. And if you overexert yourself, you're definitely not going to be able to go that long. If you had to bug out, I think that is so much more activity than your body is normally used to, that I don't think you would last 3 days without water. Really, the headaches set in, the dehydration. Water is definite. You gotta have tons of water. And lastly, 3 weeks without food. I don't know that I could go 3 weeks without food. After a couple days, I would imagine you start to get a little kooky and crazy and have some nutso ideas to figure out how to get food. I can definitely imagine that's what would happen in that situation. I have never had to go 3 weeks without food, thankfully, although it probably wouldn't hurt me too much. I might be able to go a little longer. But, 3 weeks is what they say is the maximum that someone is going to go without food. And I definitely wouldn't want to test those limits or have to see anybody test it out themselves. And that is it for the rule of 3. They really pinpoint down those things that you need in a dire emergency. And, if you are building a bug out bag and you keep those rule of 3 in mind, it's really going to help you pinpoint what you need and what you don't need. So having extras is nice if you have room, but having the bare minimum is absolute necessity. And also in your home preps, you want to make sure that you have all of these covered. Different scenarios can happen, and it's good to be prepared the best you can. And that's it for today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.